I want to talk to you a moment about problem prevention when you are doing a double or multiple portrait. I'm getting smarter the more I paint, which is a nice thing to have happen. I have been commissioned to paint two beautiful little red-headed sisters. And with the grandmother and mother, we picked out pictures that they liked very much of the two little girls. Now you can see that this child is a little bit further in the distance. This one's a little closer up. Now the measurements on children's heads can be surprising. The younger child's head actually measures out the same as her sister, who's only just a year and a half or 2 years older, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but anyway, she's just, I think this young lady is 3.5. So, but their heads, like I said, this is a picture of the two of them together, and when you measure their heads, it's very close to the same. So, I am going to be doing a pastel of these precious children, and I'm going to use a 16 by 20 Ampersand Pastelbord. I want the background to stay white. So this is the tricky part. I want to do my sketch of the two figures and refine it before. In this case, I have done my sketch here within the boundary of 16 by 20. I wanted to make sure that my placement is where I want it to be when I finish the refinement of the sketch. So again, I've sketched it now lightly one time. I have used, I really like this paper. It's a Sears Newsprint packing paper, and it has a good feel to it. And if I do this real quick, see how I can just kind of wipe that off? I'm using soft vine charcoal, and so, excuse me, I can play with my sketch a bit. So now that I like the placement of the little girls, it was important for me that this young lady's eyes look in a direction to have a relationship with her younger sister, and that the arms have somewhat of a kind of parallel relationship to each other. And I may kind of alter the ruffles on the little dresses just a little bit. May make these a little bit bigger. But you see where this is going. And if you do your sketch ahead of time, and when I get this exactly like I want it, then I'm going to spray it with Workable Fixative, and then I'm going to use a light gray graphite carbon paper, and I'm going to then use a stylus and trace it onto my pastel board in just the place I want it to be. That way I don't have smudges outside of their faces and their sweet little bodies. And it should lead to a successful venture into this project. So, hope that helps you in something that you might be setting up, because it is not fun to sketch, and resketch to get the proportions like you want them. So, hope this helps. Bye. Now I've got my little girls like I want them, and I'm happy with their relationship one to the other. And the way I'm going to do this next, this is, and I've already taped it down, this is the Ampersand Pastelbord, and this is my graphite paper, carbon paper, and or graphite paper that's going to transfer. And I've put the carbon side now next to the sand board, and I am about to tape this down on top, because if you don't tape it, you're going to be very unhappy when you find it's not in the place that you want it. So I'm going to do that, and I have sprayed the drawing with Workable Fixative. So I am now ready to use my Stylus, and in case you hadn't used one before, this is a Stylus, and some of them will have one size ball here and one size there. And I usually use the bigger one, especially if I'm using a thin tracing paper, because the Stylus can actually cut through the paper. So if I use the bigger side, then I don't have that problem. So I'm ready to transfer my drawing, and then I get to paint. Bye. This is the mostest funnest part about painting lovely little children. I'm going to call these for myself the Sunshine Girls.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I'm going to come a little bit closer. The grandmother and mother are both here, and it was wonderful. What you hope for is smiles or tears, and we had smiles, so that was just marvelous. And so it's fixing to leave with them, so I just wanted to give you a last look, and now that you've seen how I set it up, and I wish you a lot of success with your next portrait.